Engineers, Inspector Summary Video. We're here in Lodi at the garden, Vista Gardens. First thing we need to discuss with the inspector is this overhang issue, if that's going to be a pre-existing condition. He's going to allow that to happen. An all welded fire escape, 100% welded, probably 25 years old. We're here to satisfy a violation, either to load test this fire escape in the as-is condition or provide a certified repair in lieu of a load test that will satisfy the official to forego the load test. Again, the fire escape is less than 25, probably 25 years old in construction, all welded. We do have some buildup of rust here and there in a few areas, and the biggest issue that we're going to have with welded connections is things just like this. So, you know, water's getting in there. So a lot of these welds need to be either x-rayed or by simply putting in a bolt. As soon as I put in a bolt this way and a bolt this way and a bolt this way and a bolt down, I basically nullify the need for x-ray or stress testing or load testing. So, and then we got to seal up all these joints so that the water can stop getting in here. So a lot of these welds just need reinforcement. Treads, same thing. We get a lot of, these treads are built so that the water gets in there. So what we need to do is, even though the bolts, we'll probably just do a stress test on the bolts, see what the condition of this, but we got some surface ruts that's built in there. So each one of these needs to be identified to make sure that we don't have tears that have eaten the bolts. So we'll take a few bolts out, put them back in if they're in good condition, but minimally this is all got to get sealed up so that there's no more water penetration in the future. The shoes here, they need a clip. There's no clip here. This is just kind of welded here, kind of sloppily welded here. Can't be done. The angle frame all around the box, the entire box needs to have bolt backup, because right now it's not able to be done. See, the water's penetrating in here. Get some bolts back up. So with reinforcement, this fire escape and a paint job, because you can see a lot of rust already, reinforcement and a bolt backup, we should be ready for a load test if one ever gets ordered. The other thing I don't like right here is this ladder and this I think the ladder used to be straight down. That's the problem. Yeah, it looked like they took the ladder out where it was and they put it over here. So we just need to sort of literally modify or flip this thing around, because I need to get full access. So this currently, for a child, it's very difficult for a child to come out here and get themselves out to that spot. So that's the case. We just need to get this ladder, or just remove this completely. You don't need gates up here, and just make it so that you get over there. So again, the overhang is an issue, and one last piece is because this is fairly new construction, we can do a quick pull test on these through rods, which is easy to verify that they can take the load. But a lot of these are welded, and as long as we can confirm, I need these all verified, but in case we can't x-ray these, as soon as you put a bolt through there, a bolt through there, and a bolt through there, and you can see the crack. See that? You see that crack right there on the weld? That's because water's getting in there. But as soon as I pop a bolt through here, I want a minimum of a couple of ½ inches or 1/5/8. And then we can just basically seal this up, because water is notorious for getting in behind this weld where I can't see it, and only an x-ray would identify it. So let me see if I can show you. Yep. Yeah, they got it welded, but look at that back there. See how the water's starting to get in there? As soon as you blow a bolt through there, we're good. We don't have to deal with the verification process. Some of this was not chipped away, so that's all we're worried about. Otherwise, it's an all welded fire escape, probably 25 years old. And I'd say it's in fair condition, with only some minor adjustment, minor verifications. We'll be able to certify this as a certified fire escape in lieu of a load test. Any questions, fire escape engineers? Inspector Meneses here, Inspector Summary Video. We're here in Lodi. Fire escape engineers, Inspector Summary Video. Here we are in Lodi, New Jersey, and this is a complex, Vista Gardens. So we have a single fire escape here, and then 4 doubles that feed into a single ladder system. But these are all single, and those are all 4 doubles. What we talked about in the first video in regards to what needs to be done, again, all welded fire escape, probably 25 years old, all welded. So now we got a lot of unverified connections that we need either to verify through a stress test. A lot of bolted bolts into the wall verified through a pull test. A lot of boxes on all the platforms that we can basically nullify a lot of the welds by bolting it. A lot of the corners that have been invaded, so we definitely got some suspect corners on a lot of the railings that only a bolt will reinforce. We could do some welding here, but we need to seal and make sure there's no rust inside, because after every weld there's a lot of water penetrating a lot of these overlapped angles and joints. And then again, those will become suspect 5 to 10 years later if they don't get sealed. But again, supports. So as we keep talking, you're going to see it's all the same thing. It's just every single one of these repeats themselves. We need to verify that these ladders are properly attached into the wall. So there's a verification process, tightening on the nuts and the bolts, and then that will then confirm that they're not pulling out. All these, some of them are very well welded, some of them are not on these. So, but as soon as you pop a bolt in there, you don't have to deal with it, both the front, the back, and the bottom. There has been some cracked bricks. We got to make sure that nothing's affecting our through bolts. Some of these just need a simple bolt from top to bottom, just to make sure that that platform is properly secured to the brackets. But again, these fire escapes are all in pretty good order. They're around 25 years old. A lot of the treads, we're starting to get some treads mainly down here by the trees. So this is another one that's repeating itself. We do have to do some sampling on the treads to make sure that water has not eaten any of these bolts, and if they are, keep them. If they have rotted them, replace them on a case-by-case basis. But in some cases, water is getting in there, and some minor scraping here and there. We are getting some water into the walls here, so this is one of those that I would be concerned with, because this is indicating that water is getting in there somewhere, and it's either into the metal structure or it's getting into that bolt there, and that's some rust coming down on the wall there. So that needs to be verified. But again, the fire escapes are in pretty good working order. And again, it's just I either need to load test it as a verification process, or I need to certify it. And a lot of these welds, either through x-ray or just through nullification of a bolt. Every single one of them, though, does need a clip, at the bottom stringer, because the guy just welded them onto the flats, and that's not proper. So again, this one, just like all the other ones that we saw down here, same situation. And then this final one, I think it's because it's near the trees, it's got a little bit more rust. So we definitely need to minimally get a spot paint in some of these fire escapes to make them pass. But a full paint job is not going to be required, because the fire escapes they do have more paint than rust. So, but structurally, it's just a verification process. Some of these connections, nullifying some of these supports, and as you can see, the rust on the lines of the welds. As soon as you pop a bolt in that, you basically have nullified that. So that's the quote you're going to be getting from any repair vendors, is basically what it's going to take to repair and prepare the structure for a load test, and the cost, obviously, of a load test. Those are some of the things you need from vendors out there, just in case a load test is ordered, or just repair. And a separate price on this is going to be for a paint job, which I don't think needs to be done now, but should the owner want to do a full paint job, these should be done. But minimally, all the repair work should be followed up by 100% complete sealing of every joint, welded or bolted on this fire escape, should be sealed with 50-year silicone to avoid the need for verification in the future. Otherwise, if connections are left opened, they create the need for verification, and that's very costly and very time consuming. Any questions, Fire Escape Engineers? Inspector Meneses, 800-649-3333. Fire Escape Engineers Inspector Summary Video. We're here in Lodi at the Vista Gardens. We've got all these wood structures here, and we're going to confirm with the inspector whether or not these need to, but as you can see, some of the concerns we have is that water is penetrating into the building, and without these being properly sealed, those are rotting into the building. Very difficult to fix after it rots into the building. A lot of nails just popping, because that's just through freeze and thaw. Those decks look like they're probably original to the building. They look like they got metal rails, and those need to be confirmed that they're in good standing. We got cement stairs that are part of an overall walking platform all the way around this building, which we're going to get into. And so the cement stairs look like they're starting to show some sign of structural cracking over here on the fire escape. Structural cracking here. But again, the rails, we need to confirm that the rails are going to be in good order. going up, and the staircase on this side doesn't seem to be that bad. Again, all cemented with seems to be in good working order. The rails don't seem to be, but again, this is not a full inspection. This is just an inspection that's talking about what needs to be done here. Looking underneath, we do have some rotting that's occurring. Some pieces are starting to fall apart. You know, these are just the stabilizers. But basically, you know, we're looking for any rot. This is probably 25 plus years old. So we just got to confirm some structural cracking on the building. But again, as we look into the wood decking, you know, here's the question and the concern that these are starting to pull away. And obviously, you know, these need to be addressed, pulled back in. Just some standard tightening up of wood structures that occur through freeze and thaw, hot and cold. You know, these things do occur. And make sure there's no debris. Like we have here, debris will sometimes cause issues where children will get hit in the head. So this debris should be removed. It's not made for storage. Make sure no animals are eaten. Probably got a little bit of a rot happening over here. But again, into the wall. If water's getting in there, that's going to rot things into the wall. Some of the fascia, which is just for looks, is starting to pop here and there. Standard to on something on a structure this old. Tie into the building, things of that nature. Stress cracks. Some of the stabilizer crosses. These things are starting to, yeah, this is just standard. You know, you got to get in here with screw guns and just basically get all this thing buttoned up. We highly recommend that all these get stained, because just through standard water, snow, salt thrown on this, you can see some rotten wood. Okay, these are all things that need to be done on a much fuller inspection on this. But our main concerns is that all exterior steel wooden stairs, balconies, if they the water is let into the building, we got bigger problems later on that are harder to cure. But it seems like the whole building has, you know, it seems to be in good standing, good structurally sound. Just needs a little bit more investigation to make sure that we got no rot in certain areas. And you know, things like this. We just got to make sure the animals and the ants and there's no, but this is all standard pull away that happens through freeze and thaw. We need to get that inspected, get a carpenter out here and button this whole thing up with some deckmate screws. And I would strongly suggest that all this wood get stained for some additional protection. Any questions, fire escape engineers, inspector training, summary video, Inspector Meneses, 800-649-3333.